Live from our studios here in Kenya's capital. Good afternoon. You're right in time for the 4 p.m. news coverage. On air is TV47 News Now with me, Samson, Jura, where we get to inform you on the day's happenings across the border and beyond. 22047 is the short SMS code. The hashtag on X is TV47 News Now. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at TV47 Kenya. Remember, you can always find more stories available to you on our website at www.tv47.digital. Also on our socials at TV47KE on Facebook, TV47 Kenya on Instagram, as well as TV47 Digital on X. My personal handle is at OJ Samsons. Let's begin the broadcast this afternoon. Now, the High Court has rejected attempts to halt its earlier ruling on the appointment of presidential advisors. Justice Bahati Mwemuye dismissed applications seeking a stay, ruling that they were res judicata. The judge said the respondents and interested parties had raised issues and sought relief that had already been determined by the court. Now, Justice Mwemuye has noted that submissions made during the highlighting were a petition, or rather a repetition of previously advanced arguments. He further added that the court had already addressed the concerns over duplication of offices and that the fresh applications raised no new issues or risk of injustice. Declining to stay the earlier decision the court had that the Katiba Institute urged dismissal of the applications, while the respondents argued that a stay was necessary to allow for handover and indicated that they would move to Court of Appeal. Of course, we'll give you a detailed report of that particular bulletin, of that particular story in our subsequent news bulletins at 7 and 9 p.m. Moving on, Busia County Governor Dr. Paulo Tuoma and 8 county officials on Tuesday appeared before the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC Western Region offices in Bungoma County to record statements. EACC is investigating alleged conflict of interest, procurement irregularities and theft of public funds arising from tenders worth over 1.4 billion shillings allegedly awarded to proxy companies. The EACC Director of Legal Affairs and Asset Recovery, David Toh, says among the projects under investigations is an irregular procurement process for a lorry park.
Among the projects that are being investigated is a project for parking for lorries. So you are all aware that Busia County is near our border town, and there are lorries that are supposed to be parked before they cross the border. So there was a project for construction of a park for a number of lorries, about 200 lorries, and there are alleged irregularities in the procurement of the same, and many other procurement irregularities touching on various projects where the county government officials are conflicted. They could be trading with their own proxies with the county government. So he's there to record a statement as we continue with our investigations. We wish to clarify that it is not an arrest, but he's come to record a statement as we pursue. But if they are to be found culpable, of course the law will take its course. Thank you.
Moving on, after being held for 23 days, businessman Osman El-Sek has been released by a Mombasa court on a bond of 1 million Kenya shillings, while his associate Gokmen Sandiski has been released on a bond of 500,000 shillings or a cash bail of 200,000 Kenya shillings. The two, who are both Turkish nationals, were presented before resident magistrate David Odhiambo earlier today. El-Sek and his associate are facing charges related to a financing of and membership in the Al-Shabaab terrorist group, as well as an alleged assault in the Majengo Kanamai area of Kilifi County. Their lawyer, led by Cliff Ombeta, has challenged the terrorism charges, terming them a plot to undermine the business interest of the accused, who is said to have investments worth Kenya shillings 6 billion in the country.
In possession of an article connected with the commission of a terrorist act. The particulars are on 14 January 2026 at around 17:23 hours at ATPU, Mombasa Police Station. You were in possession of a mobile phone.
The first accused person shall be released on a bond of 1 million with a Kenyan surety. Second accused to be released on a bond of 500,000 with an alternative cash bail of 200,000 and 2 contact persons accused to have their passports continue being deposited in court. We meet on 19th of February for pre-trial before this court.
Haya mashtaka leo tumekubali ndio kwa sababu tumeshikwa. Hatuna uwezo, wanyonge hawawezi fanya chochote. Watajiletwa, utashikwa, utaletwa, utapelekwa kotini, watakusumbua, wataomba masiku, utanyanyaswa, basi. Lakini ukweli utajulikana siku ile tutakuwa kotini. Mashtaka ambayo tunawaambia leo na narudia mara ya pili ni ya kusingiziwa, ni ya uongo.
Now to some matters education, community groups in various parts of the country have come together to ensure that students who have secured placement in grade 10 report to school with all the necessary requirements. Through the Shofco Urban Network, short SUN, community leaders from Nairobi neighborhoods to Meru and Kilifi counties have coordinated fundraising drives and campaigns to support families facing the high cost of joining secondary school. The transition to grade 10 comes with a heavy financial burden, including school fees, uniforms and learning materials, a situation that delays or prevents many students from starting their studies.
SUN members tukachanga kidogo na tukampeleka shule kulingana na ile uwezo wetu. Nashukuru sana kwa Shofco kwa sababu wameunganisha community, tuko pamoja vikundi, na kwa hiyo ndio ombi letu kwa sababu ile roho Keno ndende ako naye imetuingia pia sisi kwa sababu ako na huruma ya kusaidia.
Tukiingia kwa nyumba unapata watu wako na shida tofauti, so kwa community hapo tumekuwa tukifanya kazi kwa pamoja. Tunapata watoto wengine wajaenda shule, tunajaribu sana tuwapeleke hata kama kwa chiefs waandikiwe barua ya waende shuleni.
Zilikuwa kwa within the community about grade 10 because grade 10 wenye walipita wengine hawakujiweza kuenda shule. So as a community and as leaders within the community tuli come up as ladies tukachanga kidogo kupea mtoto mmoja kwenda nayo shule, then ingine tulifanya ni kuchukua watoto kwenda nao kuandamana na wao hadi kwa chief kudhibitisha kumbe kuna mahitaji ya hawa.
And now we cross over to the neighboring Uganda, where Ugandan opposition leader Robert Kyagulanyi, better known as Bobi Wine, has alleged that military forces once again stormed his home in Magere last night, intensifying the ongoing standoff between security agencies and the opposition leader. In a post shared on X, Bobi Wine claimed that soldiers forced their way into the house and have now fully occupied the property. He added that his family has been unable to assess the extent of the damage caused during the initial raid on January 23, 2026, when the residence was vandalized and personal items, including documents, were seized. The occupation of the Magere home underscores the standoff between Ugandan authorities and the opposition leader, who has repeatedly accused the government of intimidation and harassment. The incident has sparked renewed concerns among rights groups and supporters of the state of civil liberties and political freedoms in the country. And now we take a look at what's happening in the world of sports, and we begin with local football, where Kenya's under-20 women's team, the Rising Starlets, continue to sharpen their skills as the country prepares to face Tanzania on the 7th of this month in a 2026 World Cup qualification match. Kenya qualified for this stage after defeating Ethiopia 4-1 on aggregate. Head coach Jacqueline Juma is confident her squad will overcome Tanzania as Kenya seeks to qualify for the World Cup for the second time in a row. And now to international football, and Sunderland cruised to a commanding 3-0 victory over Burnley on Monday night, strengthening their push for a European place while piling pressure.
owned.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we had for you this afternoon. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. Remember, you can always find this and much more stories available to you on our website at www.tv47.digital. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, TV47 KE on Instagram, and TV47 Digital on X, as well as our WhatsApp channel at TV47 Digital. My name is Samson Jura. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye for now.